to fear. The three wise men will soon be here.
Old Janicka's boys, Balthazar has just texted.
Well, what did he say?
He can't make it.
Are you joking?
Other two can't either.
No, we're going to have to do it ourselves, aren't we?
Suppose so.
Fine by me.
You ever podcasted before?
No.
Me neither. Let's
Be
do
fine.
it. Let's do it.
Ghosts and ghoulies. Some people believe in ghosts. Some people believe in ghoulies. Some people believe they've been touched by a ghost. Some people believe they've been touched by some ghoulies. Carl,
Yes.
have you been touched by some ghoulies?
Unfortunately, no.
A sweating old man touching you with his ghoulies?
Yes to that one, yeah.
Yes, excellent. This topic today is about ghosts. It's one of my favourites. I can't do the voice. It's doing me. I didn't. Right, okay. Folks, ghosts is today's topic. It's a topic that is very close to my heart because hopefully I will soon be a ghost and I don't have to do this fucking shit anymore. We've got a very special guest today. Our very first guest in person is the eponymous ghost hunter Pete.
Good evening.
And we've also got Rich, as always, here, also a ghost hunter and a UFO hunter and a hunter of small children.
That's the one. Yeah.
And sorry, Rich. Go on.
Oh, carry on.
And we've also got Carl. So, welcome everybody. We're going to have a lot of chats. We're going to have a lot of good times. We're going to learn some lessons. We've all experienced ghosty stuff. Carl's been touched by ghoulies. And let's go in straight ahead with some hot news.
Hot news!
Welcome to the hot news. Before we dig into what we've all been doing this week, we've had a tirade of emails.
Oh, not that email again.
Yeah, they've been coming in hot. They've been aimed at you, Carl. I think the Harvey Weinstein fan appreciation page was inadvisable.
Come on.
So, I don't know why you did it. I don't know why you do anything, to be honest with you. So, any issues with Carl, don't come to the Three Wise Men podcast. Come to carl.at.orgyfart.com. Any Harvey Weinstein fans, you're going to be very happy with what he's put on there. There's a few naked pictures. Big Harvey fan. The man's got a weird dick. Anyway, moving on to the proper hot news. Okay, who's going to go first? Carl, you're probably best because you think an opening of a bag of crisps is new, so let's get this fucking crap out of the way. Go on.
Oh, right, okay. Where do I start? Right, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to dive in. So, me and Pete, this is...
How many Pete's?
So, it's not our guest, Pete. It's our usual boring host, Pete. We went to our local Labour club. So Pete and Will, Will's obviously Pete's best friend, we've heard of him many times. They went out for a few drinky poos, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you want to see what happened?
Yeah. So, folks, me and my good friend Will went out for a couple of pints. This isn't news, by the way. This isn't news to anyone in the world. But we were dragged. No, that's not true. I was dragged to what I can only call the waiting room of death for 3 hours of my life that I'll never get back. Do you remember the Haunted Mansion in the 70s? The Disney attraction where they'd have these like projections of people dancing in weird ways. Just every 10 minutes these people would pop up and dance to Fireball and sit down. But everyone was over the age of 84 and there was a smell of formaldehyde and piss.
Me and Will.
And I was dragged to this fucking thing, and I'm fucking angry about it.
So
I wanted to stay home.
So me and Will have been here before. Sometimes we have games of darts there in a league, but me and Will went to play some snooker one
With
time.
what, a corpse?
Well, me and Will went, let's just play some snooker, just the two of us. And it was on a Saturday night, and I completely forgot that they have live music. And obviously, when
dead music,
when our friend Will has a few drinks, he gets very enthusiastic over the smallest things. And we heard a little bit of live music, so we decided just to go in. There was quite a few people in there, very old people, nearly dead people, and it was actually a genuine good band playing. playing some old school stuff. I mean, we had a really good night. So,
Old school, as in like stuff that was contemporary in the like 20s.
yeah, to match the audience.
Yeah.
But the thing that we found incredibly funny was, have you heard this song "Fireball" by Pitbull?
Yeah, about 4 times
Rich,
now.
Rich, have you heard the song?
never
Pete,
heard
have you heard
it.
it?
No.
So it's a Pitbull song, and there was what we found really funny was with that this band was playing genuine good music, live music, but no one danced. And then they started playing Fireball by Pitbull, and about 6, 7 fucking 90-year-olds started line dancing to this song, and we found it just the funniest thing ever. So when we went again this Saturday, we had a few beers, had a game of pool, and we heard the play. So I was like, "Oh my god, they're actually doing it again!" So I get
You did it 3 times.
I know. I dragged Pete and Will in again, and what happened when we opened the doors? Fireball and some fucking old women, proper serious line dancing. It was so funny.
They weren't even hot old women.
Sounds like Cocoon, doesn't it?
It was like Cocoon, mate. No offence to the Labour Club, it's a lovely place.
Oh, it's a great place.
But Christ almighty.
About halfway through the night, there was an older lady, obviously an older lady, and she came up to us, and she said to me, "Have you just split up with my granddaughter?" I went, "No." She went, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm fucking sure. I don't even know who you are." She went, "Oh, I've got you mistaken." Now, sometimes you get that, don't you? You go, "Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else." She went, "No, but you actually really do look like him."
She kept coming at you.
So she was like, "Let me show you this picture." Now, for the audio listeners, you can't really
I was
see.
going to say pictures don't really work on a podcast.
But let me get this picture up.
Let me pull up this 3D video.
Where is it? Okay, so this was the picture, Rich. I'll let you see first. That was the picture.
Bit of you.
Pete, what do you think? He looks exactly like me, doesn't he?
Do I get mistaken for
Yeah,
you?
I mean, put it up against you.
He is way better looking.
I mean, he's got a bit more facial hair than me.
I'd kiss him.
The guy on the phone.
Yeah,
Rich would.
You wouldn't kiss me?
not tonight.
Yeah, he actually looks like he's got more brains.
Oh, well, cheers. For
Rich likes hunting children.
But,
You want that child.
But it really freaked me out. Like people have said, like, "Oh, you look like this guy here," but to me, that looks exactly like me, and it freaked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Doppelganger.
It was a proper doppelganger. Have you seen How I Met Your Mother? Anyone seen How I Met Your Mother?
No.
Yes.
You know when they have the doppelganger
I've not seen
episode? It's
anything,
literally
have I?
the exact same person.
No.
Oh well, fucking alright, don't matter. Move on.
Brilliant. Wonderful reference.
Should we bring up our friend's discovery, or should we breeze past that?
No. Let's not breeze past it. So we had a very interesting discussion with our. You know what? Let's breeze
friend.
past it. Rich, have you got anything?
Not much has happened to me.
We're going to breeze past that.
Well, I've got more hot
got
news.
more? You carry
I've
on,
got
carry
more
on.
hot news. Fucking hell, Jesus!
carry on.
I've done my research, so let me talk.
Well, we're not going to go into the 2-hour mark.
No,
this time.
we're not.
Gonna,
Right.
We're going to keep it a bit
So
more brief.
we've got a question this time. No,
Oh,
I'm
do
gonna,
we?
yeah, I'm going to read the question for you. So I'm going to go around and tell what you think. So the question is, how many owls would you have to see in a day before you thought something was going on?
How many owls in the day?
In a day. So you're going.
We're in my place of work.
No, just you're
One.
literally doing your normal day, and let's say you see one owl, and you go, "Oh, you've seen an owl," but how many hours would it take for you to go, "Okay, something's happening, something like this, like an apocalypse coming or
Owl
something"?
apocalypse.
Yeah. How many would you say?
Who?
Great. How many? Pete? How many?
God almighty.
Depending where I work, I'd probably say one. Because you wouldn't see an owl in a shipyard, really.
I'm seeing an owl in a nuclear. In a.
Right. What if you just walking down to Asda? How many hours would you have to see to freak you out?
Asda.
Yeah, just walking down to Asda or something.
35.
35 owls, and then you'd freak out.
Yeah.
Would you not freak out if you just saw like 5 sitting in a tree?
No,
or 10 sitting in a tree?
34. I'm thinking there's something weird going on here.
Something like an apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're ganging up on us.
Well, I asked the current Mrs. Harper this, and she told me that she saw a load of like birds on the way to Barmouth, and
like women, hot women.
no, not this, no, not hot women. Come on, Pete, come on. But
It's the 21st century.
She was saying it's like flying ants or something.
Yep.
Does that ring a bell?
No.
You've got a memory of a fucking fish. Okay.
Why, by the way, you haven't.
How many for you then?
Oh, go on. I did. Go on.
How
Rich.
many? One.
One. When was the last time you seen an owl?
A real. I haven't seen it. I don't think I've ever seen an owl.
You've never seen a real owl?
No. Don't think I have, no.
I've never seen a
can't see it.
badger.
I've seen badger.
Actually, I have seen 6 owls in one hit
Where?
in the zoo.
In
Great.
the zoo.
Thank
yeah,
you.
It's, if you're
Great.
going down the zoo,
But that's not weird.
it is for the
It
owls.
is.
It is for the owls.
You don't normally catch me in the zoo.
Great. All right. Okay.
Fucking hell. Rich, have you got anything?
Well, I've got one more
Oh
thing.
my God.
Fucking hell.
You only get
Jesus,
3 minutes,
I
you're on
know.
to your
It's
10th minute
fine.
already.
One more thing.
I'll have to
Fucking
cut
hell.
my hot news right down.
No, well, this is a
Go
communal
on.
one.
Anyway, carry on.
So,
Spit it out.
2 days ago.
I'm sorry, I've been very mean. I do.
I don't know. I'm
apologise.
just gonna walk out now.
If honestly, how many hours would it take you? I'll be nice to you now.
I'm gonna I can say 5.
Separately or together?
No, together, and then I'd start freaking out, thinking there's
Don't
something wrong.
freak out. I think there's 5 owls.
It's a family of owls.
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw a owl?
8 owl.
Yeah, one
Or is
owl.
it an owl?
Well, an owl. Oh, wait, yeah, because the vowel. Fucking idiot.
A vowel.
I've
A
seen
vowel.
a couple. You see them flying about at night sometimes.
I've never seen an owl. Right, move on. Right, got one more thing then. So, 2 days ago,
Hang on, no. Let's track back. You see 5 owls
I'd freak out.
and you're screaming.
I'm not screaming,
You're
but
throwing your clothes off.
I'm-
You're running down the road. Oh my God, the owls are coming for us.
I'm thinking there's a tornado coming. I'm thinking,
Tornado in England are very, very common.
well, you never know.
Always preceded by 5 owls.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Usually is, mate. Yeah,
Them feel
It
like
usually
day
is.
after tomorrow. Do you remember the owl scene?
yeah. The owls.
The owls are out. The
Jake
fucking-
Gyllenhaal's there. See, oh fucking hell, 5 owls. We're gonna have a
I can
tornado
just
now,
imagine
boys.
walking down the road and there's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse on the horizon and there's 5 owls
there's
there and you'll go, oh shit!
The 5 owls of the strong winds.
We're in for it now.
Yeah, they're awful.
Right,
Awful.
right, that's enough owl talk.
No,
right,
it's
one
never
more,
enough owl talk.
Right, one more thing. Right.
Go on, sorry.
2 days
Val,
ago,
go.
we went to a gig, didn't we?
We did,
And we went to see Ailstorm.
and they were amazing.
My first time seeing them.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've listened to a few songs. I do like them. If anyone's not heard of Ailstorm, it's a pirate metal band. Bunch of Scottish guys. And I like a few of their songs. They're quite a fun band. But I never thought the gig would be as good as it was. And I've got down here, Ailstorm, the best gig I've ever seen, question mark. Because it was fucking...
Really?
It was great. It
Wow.
was so good. Because sometimes when you go, like when we see Metallica, you go back going, that was amazing. But when you go... It's a difference between going, that was amazing, rather than going, that was fucking great. You know, when you come out having fun.
Like, if you go in thinking this is gonna be all right, I'll have a nice night and whatever, and they went in and you was like, wow, this is brilliant.
But they were so good. We had
They
a
are
few
fun.
a few things happening in the arena. You had a blow up parrot, didn't you?
I had a bloke parrot called Nobby, and I got bored of Nobby because I had to stuff Nobby down my back and he kept falling out. So I threw him over the balcony. We were upstairs in the Liverpool Academy, and then I never thought anything of Nobby. And then suddenly, Nobby appeared again, and he was in the clutches of a
young
of a
woman.
lady,
Of an owl.
of a lady, not an owl.
No.
When you didn't think it was weird or anything.
No, it was
The
absolutely
6
not.
hours were at the bar.
6
so-
Oh, owls are getting a drink.
But we
We gotta
couldn't get
do-
that back from her.
She
was not taking him. She was not giving him back.
She was cradling him like a baby, kissing him, kissing
We
the
got
owl.
video.
And she
kissing
wasn't,
my
she wasn't
owl.
looking at us, going, "Oh, I've got your owl." She was actually just sat there with her eyes, stood up there with her eyes closed, cradling the parrot, kissing it.
It's a big parrot, man. It was a big old blow up parrot.
And then we had a guy farting constantly, didn't we?
Yeah.
Didn't we?
That was you.
Fucking horrible. Anyway, that's my
amazing gig.
that's my hot news.
Have you got anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Really?
No, would you like to say anything else?
No,
I haven't prepared anything.
You
I
got,
thought
you've got,
I thought you'd fill in for
no,
us.
go on. You fucking blubber on. Go on.
No, I haven't really
Blubber?
got any hot news.
No,
apart
Carl.
from-
Let's circle back to Carl.
No, I think we should go to Rich.
Why?
Because he's got
Because
some...
you moaned that I kept cutting away from you. So
Well, I've said my piece now. He's got some hot
surely you got
news.
something else.
I've got more. I've got more stuff. I've got more.
Come on,
I've got a new obsession.
Rich. What you got to say?
I
Anyway,
hate you.
what have I got to say? What? It's coming up for my...
Have you been to PC World again?
I haven't been to anywhere near Peace. I've been somewhere else instead.
Go on.
I can't say. You're allowed to say names.
Rumbelows.
No.
Don't
Goss.
think that's a thing anymore.
Something Goss.
Goss.
Anyway, yeah. When you sell lots
Mass
of stuff
Goss?
like a catalogue in a shop.
Oh.
Like a big catalogue in a shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One of them places. And me and Laura have
I'm
been
aware of
married
it.
for 20
Yeah.
years.
The Greek god of
Coming
shopping.
on. That's the one.
Indeed.
That's the one. Yeah. We've been married for 20 years, so our 20th wedding anniversary is coming up soon.
Oh, when is it?
Yeah, 20th. So it's like a week and a bit, isn't it?
Yes, it will be. Yeah.
And I've bought her a present
Oh yeah.
for her anniversary. And it is,
A new cooker.
nope, It's worse than that, Pete.
It's an old
Dishwasher.
cooker.
It's an old cooker, yeah. It is a plastic shed.
What?
Why have you bought her? Okay, does she want a plastic?
She wants a plastic shed. So
Okay.
I've bought her a plastic shed. 160 odd quid for a plastic
I
shed
can believe it.
to go in the garden.
Is
Put,
she?
put the mower in it, and she's happy as Larry.
My thinking is,
But-
does she want to stay in that shed?
She's not going to stay in it. It's just for
Or do
it's
you
to,
want
it's
her
to
to
make the
stay in
garden look tidier, really. But that's the way she sees it. When I think it's a bit of a strange one, but
I think you hit a certain age where the presents you ask for are just
very-
fucking boring.
yeah, but they're very practical.
Incorrect.
Do you not reckon?
Not me.
Well, you're a fucking
Baby.
fucking big child, aren't you?
I got my present last week, which you know about, which was a new laptop.
Yes.
So she's and a pair of new trainers, and she's got this plastic shed, which is coming tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning.
No lying for you.
That's what I'll be doing tomorrow.
Folks,
But
this is
I've
the
got a-
50s when you're in your 50s.
I got a few little
This
nasty.
is fun
This
you
is what
have.
happens. This is what happens.
This is what happens.
You think, no, I don't want that. I want a shed.
I don't want to. I do not
practical.
want to go on party. I want a plastic shed.
I don't want to walk down over the grass anymore to get the mower.
Yeah,
I want it right outside
exactly.
the front, the back door.
Do as little steps as possible.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
You know when you see Twilight and they're all, or whatever it may be, and they're all loved up and they're like 20 odd, and oh my god, in 30 years they're buying a plastic fucking shed.
30 years, I will buy you a shed. But I've bought a few naff gifts over the years. And I've got a little list of them.
Go on.
For a birthday, I bought a fucking metal fucking chicken.
A metal chicken.
A metal chicken. I couldn't find it.
Like a statue.
It was like well, it was two. I've got it for her. She wanted something to go in the fucking window in the kitchen. So I bought this metal chicken from B&Q.
Yeah.
And it was twice the width of the window. So it was like,
How big is this chicken?
it was big. It was like this, big fucking metal thing. Cost me about 20 quid. And she took it back. She dragged me back down to the shop. You taking that?
I fucking would. What do you give me a chicken for?
Hang on, let's have a window blocking metal chicken. Well, how romantic.
So how romantic's that? The one leg was like over the sink and the other one was on the windowsill. And she's
Incredible.
Like, that's shit, Rich.
Who wouldn't
Let's go
want that?
back.
Again,
That was one.
when you're in your 20s, imagine getting a metal chicken. No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't, would you?
No, you just wouldn't even dream about
Darling,
it.
here's a metal chicken I crafted for you.
I bought her a washing line for the birthday once. Fuck, I'm sorry.
Are you a 1950s man?
Was that with pegs?
Oh, you've read my notes.
Hang on, further
A
caveat.
deluxe one.
Peg basket was the little
That was a lucky
basket.
guess.
Little pegs, little peg
No, I didn't
basket.
buy a little peg. Oh,
Did she ask
You
for
missed
it?
out,
No,
mate.
the reason for it.
Because she
You
does
gotta
the
look.
washing, and you don't want to do it, and you hate washing,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
the
all.
woman's job. Is that what it is?
That's part of it, yeah. The biggest part of it was, I don't know if you remember when we moved in here, we had wooden fences.
Yes.
You know the little wooden fences, like little sticks on a metal.
This is the best
Piece of
episode
metal.
ever.
So
Go on.
I took it all down and I burnt it in the middle of the garden. I wasn't expecting it to go up like it did. Threw a match and it just went fuck off. About 30 foot in the air. I'm surprised you didn't see it from your house.
Because you put like loads of kerosene on it, like
It
Homer
burnt-
Simpson.
No, I didn't even need it. I burnt a washing line down.
What was her reaction when she opened the washing
the
line?
fucking washing line. So I tried to tie it in the middle.
She in
but
tears.
It was too short. So I couldn't get it to put a bit
Oh
of
my
rope.
god.
It was never tight enough.
That
after
is the worst. That's worse than a metal chicken.
I bought it. Yeah, it is worse than a metal chicken. What else have I bought? A wooden box from Au Naturel.
A wooden
A
box.
wooden box for a birthday. Because it
What-
was
what
just
goes
a
in the
fancy
box?
wooden box. And she just like, I made a fish for it as well.
You what?
I used to do this for a birthday. I'd set up a big blanket, blue,
Yeah.
and I'd put fake fucking bulrushes round.
Yeah.
I put some music on the
Bulrushes.
bulrushes. I put some music on.
Are you
off the
Moses?
I am Moses, and a basket, Moses basket.
Yeah.
And
Well, he parted the washing lines. So.
yeah, exactly.
Anything
Part of
is
the washing line,
possible.
mate.
That was just the start. And yeah, so it's set up. It's not like a pond basically, and I
Were
put
you
some.
all on crack at this point of your life?
Bear with me.
I'm gonna have to.
I've lost my track now. Yeah, and I'd set this up. I'd have
You got
music
bulrushes.
coming off the internet of water, like trickling.
Yeah.
And I'd come in, I'd say, right, sit on the sofa. Just remember to come in and, what are you doing? I said, just sit on the sofa.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's loads of presents on the floor. There's about 15 presents, all wrapped up. And they've all got a little loop of rope on them.
Right.
And then I handed a fishing rod with a hook, big hook made out of
Oh,
a
this is very romantic.
piece of copper wire.
Was
You know,
each
the
one a
thick stuff
peg?
you get on the for the earth, and I made a fish for a present.
She opened the first one.
I
It's
thought
she opened the first one. It's a shopping list.
First one,
It's a dirty sock, the other one.
the first one was a wooden box. that's where the wooden box came from.
See, that's nice, that.
It is nice, but
Well, I
presents-
thought you said I made her a fish.
I
Well,
no,
why
I made
would
her,
you do
made
that?
her fish
That's
for
really
a present.
nice.
It took her about an hour.
That's a good idea.
She loved it actually.
Oh,
Now,
that's sweet, Rich.
I do that now for the kids. Before Christmas, we have a little so many naff stuff, you get from B&M. And wrap it all up, do the same thing, give the kids the fishing rod each, just the end of the fishing rod, with a hook on. And they've got about 20 presents each, they've got a hook.
You do have a heart.
Your
do
next
I do have a
anniversary,
heart,
what you
you're
need to do is bury it all on the ground and make it sniffer out like truffles, like a pig.
Yeah, I have to change. I'm going to switch it up.
Dig
Don't
it up with the
ruin your
fingers.
lawn.
Yeah,
Just switch it up, aren't I, and do something different.
that's a good idea.
But yeah, so they love, the kids won't let me not do it now. I've got to do it.
That's a tradition. That's a family
That is a family thing now.
tradition now. That's so
Yeah.
nice.
Well, Pete, you have a tradition, don't you, for Christmas? Every morning you make what? Bacon butties.
Bacon butties.
Bacon butties every Christmas.
Yeah,
Every Christmas, bacon butties in the morning.
Oh,
I have
Yeah, you got to go, yeah.
crumpets with jam. No, crumpets with frozen veg. Frozen veg?
Frozen veg, that's it.
oh crumpets with frozen veg on the top. The old traditional.
Whipped
Vegetarian.
cream.
Beautiful.
Frozen fruits. But they're not frozen, obviously.
Talking about gifts, what's the worst gift anyone has been given?
Fucking metal chicken.
What have you been given? Did she give you it back?
I get good gifts off her. I really get, like, a fucking iPad, a fucking laptop, my fucking phone, and a new car.
Have you been given a shit present, Pete?
Yeah, there was one time that it's going back years. Me and my brother-in-law, we had one hell of a night on Southern Comfort. I think we polished off about a bottle and a half, 2 bottles of the stuff.
Woof.
And I'll go back to that with the ghosts as well because something happened. But
Did you have a ghostly experience after that?
a ghostly experience during that, to be
Several.
honest. That was only after the one bottle.
Just the one.
Had these 2 bottles,
Did
and then
something
after that,
enter
I
you?
was violently ill,
Yeah.
and I probably looked like something out The Exorcist, to be honest. But I was violently ill, and for years after that, I couldn't handle the smell
I was going to
of
say
Southern
Southern
Comfort.
Comfort.
I've done
I
it.
couldn't handle
Yeah,
the
same.
taste.
It's
of
always Southern Comfort
Yeah,
as well,
no, it
isn't
wasn't
it?
Southern Comfort, mate. It was gin.
And then somebody decided to buy me a bottle of Southern Comfort for fucking Christmas.
That makes sense.
And I
It's
just
that
looked
dead
at it and
sweet
went,
smell.
Yeah, that's the worst present because you're like, nah.
nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Same.
I'll be
couldn't
looking
ta- I
into
couldn't
a
have it
bucket for
ages.
the rest of the night if I open that stuff.
Oh, I done it with gin in Newquay.
Did you?
When I was about 18. Never touched spirits. I didn't like spirits. I ended up on gin all night long, and the thought of gin or the smell or even thinking about it
Now?
just makes me, yeah.
Like-
oh yeah.
40,
I can still taste it. I can still
50, 60 years later.
yeah.
Have you got like a drink you can't drink, Pete?
Not anymore, but Southern Comfort was mine as well. I did the same as Pete.
Well-
I had way too much of it one time.
Will gave us a massive bottle, didn't he? He got loads and didn't like it.
I mean, I wouldn't choose to drink it now.
I don't mind.
It doesn't make me sick now, but
yeah.
for a
Well,
good,
yeah.
a good long
I've
time,
actually-
I couldn't
Yeah,
touch
I've
it.
actually had it since. I had a glass of Southern Comfort lemonade not long back, and I actually went, "Oh, do you know what? It's all right, that."
You do though, don't
Come
you?
round.
Yeah, I've come round.
Many
to it, yeah.
decades later, you go,
Your
oh,
body
that was
does
all right.
remember, doesn't it?
Well, when I was
Well, yeah,
16,
Southern
all
Comfort
I
flavour.
used to drink was Strongbow dark fruits, and we drank it so much
Yeah.
I couldn't drink it anymore. And then about 6 months ago, someone bought me a pint of it, and I was like, "Oh, it's alright actually."
Yeah. It's a festival drink, that, isn't it? The
Yeah.
dark fruit stuff.
Love a cider. Any other hot news or? are we
No, I'm
finished?
done with what
Pete,
news.
do you have hot news?
Well, it's going back to the other night when we went to see Hailstorm, and what it was the week before when you'd mentioned it, and I was like, oh, do you know what? Yeah, should I go? And I was umming and ahhing, and I was thinking to myself, yeah, I might go to that. So I had them on my Spotify at work on Saturday night, and a mate of mine was sort of like looking over at me, and I'm jigging away on the job,
As you do,
as you do.
when you're using
listen to-
dangerous welding equipment.
Yeah. And he said to me, "What you listening to?" I went, "Oh, a bit of Hailstorm." And he was like, "Oh, I'm going to see them on Wednesday." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking of going." He said, "Oh, great band." Said me missus loves them, fantastic. So anyway, thought nothing of it. Got to Wednesday and thinking, "Oh, the Tuesday morning, I eventually bought my ticket.
Yep.
And went on the Wednesday. And I thought, I wonder if I'll see me mate here. So I'm looking around, I can't see because you've got a couple of thousand people in front of you. And, we're up in the gods, as we were. And thought nothing of it. Saw his Facebook post about being at the O2 watching Hailstorm. And I put under it, I was there. And then a picture of me with the lead singer of Hailstorm.
Oh shit! Yeah, we met him, didn't we?
Yeah,
He was
Chris, is it Bows on Bows?
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
He is, cracking fella.
So was that the pictures you were sending me?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Nice Chris from Hailstorm.
So
Yeah.
I thought I'll just leave that with him and see what.
Oh,
comes
that's the
back.
perfect like.
And
yeah, I was there.
about an hour later, I got a reply saying "fuck you."
Well, didn't you post it in and like the
Yeah, I did a post on Instagram, and it was just a couple of pictures of the band playing and this, that, and the other. And I just threw it out there. I tagged the band, and the guitarist and the drummer have both liked me post.
Cool.
So made up with that.
Pete's now the local slag for Hailstorm.
Yeah.
But they are great. I would recommend watching them, even if you're not even into it. It is so
Yeah, it's
fun.
like, I mean, all the choruses I noticed. I don't know why I noticed because I've been into Hailstorm for years, but I noticed all the choruses are dead catchy.
Oh yeah, great.
So even if you don't know the song, you end up singing like "Ah, fuck you" or
Yeah.
like, "I'm drinking a beer" or whatever the hell.
There's metal sheets. I can't say it
proper
again.
good, man.
Metal sea shanties, basically.
Yeah,
aren't they?
basically, yeah.
I did have a
They're
listen
really
actually.
good.
Yeah, they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, listening.
Fucking daft.
Yeah. I'm sailing along on the sea with rum, basically.
Yeah, essentially.
But every song
Sometimes they
seems
travel through
to
time.
mention that and rum.
Yeah,
And
rum,
they tell you-
beer, quests and mead.
Yeah.
And
These are
and
the
they say
things that a
fuck you a
pirate
lot
needs.
as well.
They
Yeah.
do.
So,
Yeah, it was a good gig. Okay, so anything else?
I think that's it.
no, I think that's about it.
Yeah, because my news ties into your news, Carl.
Go on.
So have you got any more news, Carl?
No,
Because you were very adamant you wanted to speak more before.
no, I just didn't want to forget. Got a problem?
Okay, no, that's fine.
Want to fight?
You had a, like, no, what?
What? You got any news?
Me, yeah, I went to see Hailstorm.
Oh,
and
did
then-
you?
Then I got dragged to a funeral parlour for watching a bunch of corpses dance around when I wanted to stay at home and watch a horror movie. So thanks for that, Carl. I did tell you I would rag on you in this podcast
Don't have a go at me.
on that Saturday last week.
It
So-
was Will's fault, and you know it.
I'm just.
But he's not on the podcast. So
Yeah, so blame me.
I'm just surprised he didn't play Thriller by Michael Jackson, because it
Oh.
probably would have looked about right. Really,
it would have looked.
It would-
It
yeah.
would have been better than the Michael Jackson video because these people are actually dead. Right. Okay. That's the news, folks. We'll move on now to the main topic, which is, of course, ghosts and a bit of ghoulies.
Main topic.
It's the main fucking topic. 34 owls, I'd say, was topping it out. That's pretty normal. Okay, the main topic is ghosts. So I'm going to say, from my own experience, the jangling of chains, the groans in the air, the odd scream, the atmosphere. That's me having sexual intercourse with a hot babe. But ghosts are a different thing, and we've got a resident. Well, we've got two experts on the supernatural here, but we've got a resident guest ghost expert. He's the real Winchester brother. He's a Shaggy to a Scooby Doo. He's a ghost hunting. Help me out here.
He's got Zuki to a
He's got
Godzilla.
Zuki to a Godzilla. he's a race dance from Ghostbusters. So we're all going to go around. We've all got ghost stories. Carl's probably got something about going out on a night out, some shit. But Pete, as an expert in this subject, what would you say is your scariest ghostly encounter? And I'm not talking about you walking on me having sexual intercourse with a hot babe.
Yeah, it would be scary.
It would be scary for her.
Bring tears to the eyes. To
For
everyone.
her, it did.
Scariest one.
When you thought maybe my life is going to end here, I'm going to be possessed by a demon or a Wolfman or whatever.
Or Kanye West.
Or Kanye West or a Will Young.
Probably going back to when I first started being interested in ghosts. I was about 10.
What made you interested? What got you into it?
Well, originally, it all sort of like stemmed from when my mum died when I was a youngster. Never really got to say goodbye.
Oh.
But it must have been about 2 weeks later. I thought I heard someone breathing in my dad's bedroom when I was going to bed. Walked in there and it was clear as day. There's my mum lying there and she just said goodbye. I went to say goodbye after her and she just disappeared.
And you were wide awake?
I was wide awake. I was wide awake. But I must admit, at the end of that, when that had happened, I did actually feel a calm.
Yeah.
So I felt a lot better.
You'd like
So
did what you wanted to do.
That got me thinking, I suppose, at that age. And then I started reading books and getting interested in it a bit more.
More the research side of...
More the research side, yeah. And then when I was playing with a couple of mates at their house, and there was a bit of a thunderstorm, so we all legged into the house, and they got like a side window, and there's along the side of the house there's a footpath.
Okay.
This window looks into the footpath, so
Okay.
to speak. So we're all playing away, and this, that, and the other, and there's thunder and lightning clattering around in the sky. Rain's lashing down.
You're playing. Were 34 at the time?
Yeah, I was young. And playing Couplunk or something like that. And the next minute, somebody just caught
Great
our eye.
game. Don't
It's a
knock it.
fantastic
I
game.
love Couplunk.
It's brilliant. In fact, to be honest, it's probably the last time I saw me marbles, but that's another story. So we're playing whatever it was, and then something just caught my eye going across on the footpath. And as I looked over, I saw this like black shadowy figure, and it's walking along, and it's sort of like big, sort of like fedora hat type thing, pure black, and what looked like it had a dagger in its hand.
What?
And it's just literally it's gliding. That's the only way I can
It was
sort of
on
like
its way to an
describe it.
hailstorm concert.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have been.
it was the fella with the claymore in the middle of the crowd. So as I was walking, as it was
So
walking
his
along,
knife,
or
his knife
floating-
is in his knife is above his head, like in classic
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers style, or
Yeah, it was sort of because
Well, that's
it wasn't.
terrifying.
It was kind of like that, and for the people listening, obviously going like that you can't see, but it was like waving its arms slowly, but with a dagger in its right hand as it's sort of like gliding past the window.
See, if it was a real person, you'd see the natural bounce of the walk, wouldn't you?
Now there was a few of us saw it, so we saw that. So what the hell's that? Stupidly enough, you go to the front door to open it and find out, and there's just nobody there. There's nothing there.
any chance it was a guy on a skateboard in fancy dress?
Coming back from an hailstorm concert.
Coming back from
Yeah.
Hailstone concerts.
Yeah, it was one of those things, and when after I'd seen that, then I just got more into it then, and I just started flicking through more books, and
Multiple witnesses though, Pete.
yeah,
Isn't it?
yeah.
It's not just a. Oh, I just saw a scary cloaked man. No,
Yeah.
you didn't, did you? Well, you've
Well-
had multiple.
Well, this is
people
it.
there.
This is the thing. When people say no, you didn't. Basically, what they're saying to you is you're a liar.
Yeah.
Now,
Essentially, mate. Yeah.
it's at the end of the day, when it comes to the paranormal, and people say this, that, and the other, and you've got your non-believers that basically wouldn't believe it if a ghost slapped them in the face. They'd say it was the wind.
True.
There's actually, you could say there's more to say that there is a ghost than there isn't.
Well, everyone's got. Well, I say everyone. Most people have a story, don't they?
Yeah, and when you've got like a story that multiple people say
Yeah.
over years of, over the years,
Yeah.
not all in the same play or not all in the same time, So, you know, you've got somebody seeing a ghost in the 1930s, someone sees it in the 1950s, someone sees it in the 1970s, and it's the same story. Then there's no collaboration there.
No. I'll tell you what. Can I interject?
Depends where you want to interject.
Because I had a similar experience. I was skateboarding and I was in fancy dress one night, dressed as Jack the Ripper, and I saw these 3 kids looking out the window.
Playing.
One of them had a beard. It was the scariest fucking thing I've ever seen. No one should have been there then. The house was empty.
Yeah.
So,
And I had a banana in my hand.
so when was the first time you went on a ghost hunt then?
An actual ghost hunt.
I'd love to do a proper ghost hunt.
Let me think. I'd probably say my first ghost hunt would have been Albert Dock.
What's at the Albert Dock that would be?
The Albert Dock, basically.
Really?
The big building, yeah, the actual
Oh
building
shit,
itself.
okay.
In fairness, nothing really happened, but it's just an amazing place to walk around in the dark, in the middle of the night. When I say nothing much happened, as there was a big group of us, and as we were walking out of one area, we actually did hear a whistle from behind us. Now, I was the last one, maybe second to last one out the door, and it was behind us.
Like a whistle or a person whistling.
It was like a person whistling.
Oh, I don't like that.
Sort of one of those like.
You can tell. Yeah,
It's like whistles. I can't whistle, so you know. I think the hair gets in the way from the beard.
Can you whistle? No, we can't.
Okay, great.
So we heard this whistle from behind us, and we were like, "What the fuck was that?" And as we were looking at each other, a few other people in the crowd that had gone through into the next area had heard it as well, and they were like, "Did you hear something?" So, was that? Yeah. What did you hear? And always ask them the question just in case.
But there's nothing in there that could have been like. There's no like
there was
wind whistling or a little mouse maybe summoning his mate or. All right, that's unlikely. But there's nothing that could have.
Owls.
Got 34 owls whistling at a man. That's bizarre then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just say you look back and then you start walking around, and that's when you go into investigative mode, basically, and you're looking for something that it could be. So the first thing you want to do is disprove it. But if you can't disprove it, then you know.
Is that how you do it? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
So you go. Oh, go on, sorry, Rich.
Sorry, got a little story, just perfect example.
Yeah.
I used to work on nights cleaning when I was looking for a job. I could find this little job in Chester, and we were cleaning the Blue Coat Centre.
I know where you are, yeah.
And you come down these stairs. There was me and this old woman. She's in probably late 60s, lovely woman, coming down these stairs. And every single night, the toilet door went, and we both.
That's creepy.
The first few times we both stepped back, like, what the hell? But me being into me investigating and ghosts, the same sort of thing. It was I went up and down, set the door, and eventually discovered that it was like the third stair. Every time you put your foot on the third stair, it would move a board further down.
Oh, weird.
And the door would shut. And
What
in the
did
end,
your
I got it down
girlfriend
to a T. She was gutted. She thought it was real.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Was she hot, this
She was
6-year-old?
hot. She did start wearing makeup on. I'm not joking. She started wearing makeup, and all I said, I think she's got a thing for you now.
That's why Rich.
I don't like that though, because I'd like to think, oh, that's a bit creepy, and walk away. But I suppose you've got to, haven't you?
Got to, and eventually,
Because that's a ghost hunter's thing, isn't it? You've got to
totally ruled it
disprove
out.
everything.
Yeah.
And that
Prove everything.
when she started putting makeup on, that's why Rich always let her walk up first. Is that right? Yeah.
I mean, there was another one.
Got a little bum bum.
There was another one that was similar to what Richard just said. I was at work one night, and it was middle of the night shift. It was during brew time, and I decided let's just go for a quick walk around because the place that I work is reputedly quite haunted.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I was walking along, and I went into one of the rooms that operates the main dock gates.
Okay.
And it's like you go down into it's like a little corridor, and there's a door in front of you, there's a door to the side. So I went to the door on the side. It's a bit stiff, a bit sticky door, so I wedged it open, went inside, went in to have a look. While I was in there, the door slammed. And I was like, okay. So, usual thing, asked around to see if there was anything in there. And
heavy door?
There was no answer. Yeah, it's a quite heavy door, so I came through out the other door and then to that door to see if I could open it again. So I opened the door up. Thought, right, let's see if I could slam it. So I tried slamming it and it got stuck on a piece of concrete every single time. So you couldn't literally slam the door.
Oh.
Now, I'd had a look on the top of the dock to see if there was anybody around, and there's no one around because no one's stupid enough to go around there.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Apart from Rich.
Apart from me, I would, definitely.
And so it was just a case of, okay, put that one down to an experience.
That's
but
creepy.
as I say, I couldn't slam the door at all. And once you did actually get it past the bit where the concrete was stopping it, then the little arm on the top of the door came into play, and you literally still couldn't slam it.
Because it forces you not to do it.
Yeah.
That's the
We have similar stories. There's a pub in Chester called The Saddle, and the owner is an old, a friend, but he was a friend of me, more a friend of my wife's brother growing up, and The Saddle is very haunted. I don't know if do you remember this conversation, Carl?
Yeah.
He was showing us all these videos because people can stay. You can stay over in The Saddle.
Yeah.
And there's these big heavy doors, and again they've got the same mechanism on them, and he's got so many videos of these massive thick wooden doors going bang, just shutting in the night.
Well, he said like room 3. He said something about room 3 or something. Apparently, like a lot of people have stayed in there, and they've come down the middle of the night and go, I can't stay in there.
Yeah.
Because the amount of stuff that happened in there.
Haunted,
full of
And
owls.
full of owls, yeah.
Yeah, 35, which was a scary amount of owls. But so anyway, The Saddle's great either way. It's a great pub.
One more thing, then, Pete, from your side. So you're pretty open-minded about ghosts and stuff like that, aren't you? You're quite happy.
Gotta be. You've got to be open.
Is there ever been a time where you've actually shit yourself scared? As much as you might go, oh, that's fine, I might have saw something walk along. Is there any time where you actually did? It's like, okay, that's a bit too much for me.
Yeah,
I can't.
I've had it. Yeah.
Probably not to an extent through something that's happened, but your mind plays tricks sometimes. I remember I was at the Newsham Hospital in Liverpool, and it was an event that was held by Lady Snake, Wendy Binks, who's sadly passed away last year. And she's a good friend of mine, so she invited me to go to Newsham Hospital. Now, earlier in the evening, we'd done a few experiments and whatever. I'd wandered off on my own.
Like, can you hear me and all that.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
Well, no, you don't really do.
Yeah. You guys just don't get the program.
We don't
you
get it.
fucking
I fuck
wander off.
from my own all the time. I get told off all the time.
It's just one of them things. It's great when you're in a big group because you can get a lot of energy going, and you can things can happen. But when you're actually on your own and something happens, it's the energy that you've created, or there's not
myself.
extra energy coming from anywhere else.
Yeah.
Not only that, but there's no one putting that little nugget of information into your brain.
So you're not overthinking something.
Well, that's it. So things are happening. It's literally happening.
Mm.
So things like walking up the main stairwell and you get pulled back 2 stairs, and you look round. There's no one there. You're feeling for the side of the wall to see if there's anything that's sticking out that could have pulled you.
You were pulled back 2 stairs?
I was pulled back 2 stairs, yeah.
By your coat or by your body?
It just sort of like grabbed my arm, and it was a proper...
You were on your own at this point?
I was on my own, yeah.
That's why I used to get told off for that reason, because nobody to back you up.
No.
Because you've gone off on your own.
I suppose
that's
so.
why you said if you go up, you've got no corroboration from anyone else. But what happened?
But that said, I absolutely believe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Pete says, or what you say, or
As I say, it's one of them things that
Pete says what you say.
But you know, it's coming back to that thing of, you know, they calling you out to be a liar, when all you're doing is just passing what's just happened to you.
But if I was it, I would want to go off and have a root around.
On your own, yeah. Best way to do it.
I mean, that particular one, that particular investigation.
If that happened to me, Pete, I would literally
Cry.
literally and not figuratively, literally piss myself and leave immediately.
Yeah.
Because that is too real for me.
There's, I mean, later on that night, we were up in they're called the Naughty Boys rooms. They're up in the gods. It's basically up in the attic. And there's like this long corridor and there's little rooms. Basically coming off this corridor, and they're like the rooms that you used to put the naughty kids in.
Like, okay, so they got locks on the doors.
They got locks on the doors and this, that, and the other.
shit,
And I got locked into one. And
As a laugh.
Was this
No,
because they
asked.
hated you?
No, I did ask.
Did they hate you?
They wanted volunteers, and I stupidly put my hand up, as you do, and so they threw me in a room on my own, and forgot about me.
What?
They forgot about me. So I'm stuck in this room, and you could hear people, but the thing is, the thing that happened was, while I was in that room, I kind of like felt a presence that was in there, so I started asking questions. I
Did it
had
respond?
a K2 meter in my hand, which is like an electric meter. It lights up when there's...
Does it go like the one in Supernatural?
No, it's not that one.
Oh.
It's the silent one. It's just a load of lights that flicker off, and if you
Well,
there are natural energies, so you've got like yellow and green lights, and then it goes to red.
oh, okay. I want
Now,
one.
when it hits red, that means you sort of like you're onto something,
Yeah.
basically. So I'm asking these questions out, and I'm getting red lights. So I'm thinking, oh, I've got something with me.
Something, yeah.
So I started asking questions, and it came out it was like a 6-year-old boy. I asked whether he died in the place. He said no. Why you've got to ask yes/no questions, so you can't say, well, you know,
So
why are you
go,
still here then, type thing.
you go say, did you die here? And the little meter goes, or whatever.
When I said,
Is that how
did
it
you die
works?
here? Nothing happened. So I then asked the question.
Oh, you know, but yeah.
The other way
my point
round.
is, yeah.
So I then said, so you died somewhere else.
And he goes, whoop. Yeah, sorry, yeah.
So-
I got it the wrong way around, but yeah.
So
that's
that
how
happened.
it works then. Oh, that's dead interesting.
And so I was having this conversation with this 6-year-old spirit that in his... He did seem that he enjoyed his time there.
That's
which is one thing.
mental. Can I make
but-
a point? These people came on a ghost hunt. There's a group of them. They're looking very observantly at everything around them. They're looking at motes of dust and like listening to like the odd squeal. And they lost a 7-foot man with a big white beard. How is that possible?
I don't think I had the beard at the time.
No, but regardless, you are a presence, Pete.
Yes, they forgot about me.
20 minutes later, they come back, it's all locked, and you just hear the Angry Birds theme tune set in the room.
Literally,
They lost him.
So I'm
He's
kind of like,
fucking massive.
so I'm kind of like sitting there thinking, okay, that's it. Knocked on the door.
That's it.
That's it, I'm done.
Nothing's happened, and I'm like, where is
Well,
everybody?
that's me and little Johnny here for the rest of eternity.
So I start sort of like, hello. Nothing happening.
I would have
you know what? I would have shit
I would
myself.
shit
So,
myself.
so I'm just
That's more
basically,
frightening than that.
I'm just basically sitting there now playing Snake on me Nokia type thing. And all of a sudden I heard these voices. Pete, you still here? Yes, I am.
Well, I was locked in, so
So they came, well, sorry about that, we forgot about you. So that was it.
I don't trust that group of people.
Found another group quick.
So, but no, they were great. And another experiment that we did up there was a bit strange.
Go on.
Me and Wendy had talked about it a couple of weeks earlier, and she wanted to put me in a straitjacket.
Well,
Like you do.
Like
to be fair, it's been a long time coming. So
yeah. So she said to me, she said, I want to ask you something. Do you mind if we put you in a straitjacket?
Why, though?
And I kind of went, yeah, go on then. Why not?
Could not. Couldn't bear that.
So we're sitting in one of these rooms, and I've got a straitjacket on, and I'm sitting in the middle of the room,
I'd hate
and
this.
there's a lot of people
Couldn't do that.
around the room. Bear in mind, it was in the middle of November when we did this ghost hunt.
Yeah,
So it's freezing cold then.
Freezing cold. There's hardly any glass in any of the windows, so
What
it's
year was
absolutely
this?
freezing. God, when was it?
Was it recent?
That was a few years back now.
Few years.
Probably about 10 years ago, something like that, maybe. And so I'm sitting in this room, and they start asking questions and this, that, and the other. And there's a few people starting to feel a bit nauseous. So Wendy's asking me, "How are you feeling?" And I'm like, "I feel fine."
Was it the sight of you in the straitjacket, but no pants on whatsoever?
But naked from the waist down.
Completely naked.
Well, a few did faint,
Yeah.
I must admit. But
From the sight of half naked Pete.
Yeah.
Oh!
I think so, yeah.
So, he's hanging dong. So
So I'm there in this straitjacket, and she's saying, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm quite warm," and everyone's sort of like dithering, and I'm like, "Why am I so warm?" And I'm thinking, is it the jacket? I'm sort of like
You'll
hugging
be
myself
warm,
warm,
it's
but
not
I'm
cold.
getting this like a nice warm glow around me, and everyone else is getting cold, feeling sick, and this, that, and the others. Few people had to leave, and what it was, or what we kind of like believed it was,
go on.
was the fact that one of the inmates had come into the group and was protecting me because I was in a straitjacket with a load of people around me, so it was affecting them to get them out.
Okay. That makes sense then, yeah.
Yeah,
That's wild.
it was a good night, that, actually.
You should have worn pants though.
Yeah, it was cold.
There are some good stories, Pete.
They are some
Good stories.
It's not something you say every day. I was sitting there, in my straight jacket.
I mean, straight jacket in an abandoned
It
hospital.
was it was fun.
You drop that into a conversation. So I'm sitting there in my straight jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
wild. That's
mad.
some wild shit, man.
What were you, Rich? Any spooky?
Rich, you are the also resident supernatural paranormal
Any ghoulies hanging in front of your face?
shaggy
there was-
of the group.
Got a couple of little things that have happened to me. Going back now to 1975, 76.
Oh, I don't remember it. I was only born.
You weren't born
He
then.
was only 20.
He is now. Anyway, I was
Hilarious.
about 5 or 6. And I used to get in the middle of the bed. My mum and dad. My dad would always be on my right, mum on the left, and my sister, she's 2 years younger than me, she'd be on my left. And I'll never forget this. And I'm only 5, but this is stuck in
Some
my head.
things do, like worm the way
I
into
can
your
say
memory.
it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm sitting up. My dad's lying
Yeah,
down. My
man.
sister and my mum, they're all lying down. It's early. I can't remember exactly what time. I'm a little kid. It was about 7ish, I'd say, sunrise kind of thing. The bed looks out over the landing, and we had slats, so you could see through, the banister.
Yeah.
Just wooden slats. And this shadow come up the stairs, and it was its foot was falling on each stair. If I remember it, I think it had a hat on, and it walked.
Hang on a minute.
I know. That's
Did it have a
when you said-
skateboard?
It had a skateboard as well, and it had a dagger. Yeah, had a dagger. Anyway, it's walking deliberately, putting its foot on each stair, and it's like not on the wall.
I'd never sleep again, Rich.
I tried to tell my dad, my mum, they're just like they were still asleep, really, basically.
But you were defo awake.
I was
it
wide
was,
awake.
You were
Sitting up.
like sort of dream state.
No,
where you,
no, sitting up,
You know what I mean?
wide awake. And since I remember the doors and stuff, there's no way it could have been a shadow. But I remember seeing it crystal clear, perfect, like a cardboard cutout, walking up the stairs. And
Fucking
the weirdest
hell.
bit's yet to come though. Told my mum, told my dad. Yeah, you know how you do with kids. Oh, it's fine, it's nothing, blah blah blah. couple of days later, we used to go around. There's a little, Pooltown Road, the
Yes,
shops,
yes.
where the Seabreeze Chippy used to be
Yeah.
there. We used to live in a place called the Crescents.
Yeah.
My mum took us to the shops.
Okay.
So we're in I think there's a grocer's shop there. We went into the grocer's shop. We're queuing up, and my mum stood right to me, and I can remember looking up. The woman on the till says, "Oh, I can't remember names or anything, but I'll say, oh, did you hear about Gladys and the Shadow Man?"
What?
And my ears just pricked straight, and I'm tugging on my mum's arm, and she's not listening. And she says, "Oh yeah, Jean's seen that as well. She's had that going up the stairs." And I'm getting goosebumps now saying it, because
What is that then?
Oh, my arms are just like. They were talking about it. Oh yeah, so and so's seen that. Oh, blah de blah. She's had that happen in her house as well.
So it's not. It's multiple.
Yeah.
Houses.
But my mum never remembered me say. I remember that clear as day. She just wasn't listening. And you're like, yeah. Kids imagining stuff
I
again.
can't imagine you being a kid, Rich. To my mind, you're way smaller, but still with a beard
I've always had this beard
and the glasses.
and the glasses
Yeah.
and the tattoo.
Yeah.
Always had them.
Pete, do you reckon what do you think
I
about
don't like that.
The same thing being sighted
Well-
in different houses in the same area?
That's
It's
wild.
a bit strange. That's like what I said before with proof. You know, there's more proof for the ghosts than there is against, because all they can say is, "I don't believe you." Whereas you've got multiple people that can say, "Well, yeah, that's happened to me," or this, that, and the other, or totally different people can come out with the same story.
If I'd never heard them people in that shop, I'd probably be second guessing myself.
Do you know what I know? Can I say something here? That's a very fucking 70s thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, you had that Shadow Man. Oh my God,
he's been in my house.
He's come up the stairs.
He's up down them fucking stairs
So
all
if
night.
it was today, it'd be all over Twitter. It'd be all over
Well,
fucking
there are
whatever.
actually-
That was Twitter in them days, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The grocery store.
Yeah, there are actually, as I say, the tales of, they call them shadow people or shadow men, whatever. And the one, by the sounds, the one that you've experienced is the same type of shadow person that what I saw in the woods. I have
What is
actually
it, though?
seen a different type, which is like the fast running type. It was one of those, middle of the night, went to the loo, and it's like
In the woods.
the way our toilet was, it's sort of like right above the stairs. You look down, there's your front door there. So I hadn't bothered closing the door because everyone's in bed. So I'm sitting there on the toilet, and next minute I just saw this shadow go across the bottom of the stairs. So I was like, shit, what the fuck?
You're in the right place, though, aren't you?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you empty yourself
it
there.
did very quickly. So I pulled myself together, ran down the stairs into the living room where it had gone into, switched the light on, nothing there.
Why did you do that? I would go exactly the opposite way, out of the house.
Was this in your current house?
Yeah.
I get on my skateboard, put my cape on, grab my knife and fuck off.
Again, it's one of them things that, first of all, the investigator clicks into action straight away, so you go down. And the other thing is, you're in your own house, you've just seen something, you got to check that it's not a burglar.
Yes, that's
So
true.
I legged down the stairs, making as much noise as possible,
Yeah.
and then into the living room,
Bing.
and there was nothing there.
Yeah, you
Nothing.
do. Breathing dead loud, clanging down.
Yeah.
Right, I'm coming.
I'm coming. You
Yeah.
better be out of my sight. 'Cause I might get there.
All right. Does anyone know what they are? Because I've heard of these
Do you
things
know,
before.
I've never even researched them.
I've had a little look, and I'm not too sure myself, to be honest. I think they're actual, I wouldn't say warnings or harbingers of bad things or anything like that, but I think that the crisis ghosts, whereas if you're going through a slight crisis at the time or something, they will show themselves. Having said that, there are videos on YouTube of so-called shadow people running through football crowd.
Yeah, it's a
and-
big.
Yeah,
I've
I've
heard
seen
of
one,
shadow
yeah.
people.
And it's kind of like, there's this one where you got the stadium, and then you've sort of like got like an empty bit of ground, but there's a black figure literally running across the stadium, and then it just disappears.
Saw that one, yeah.
I'm not saying
Weird.
that.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
I don't like
Yeah.
that. That's scary. Have you got any others, Rich?
got-
Because I hate this, by
oh.
the way.
I've just got a few written down here because I've got lots. Not loads of stuff's happened, but
We'll circle around to this because this is a very juicy
so
subject.
we can
mate.
do this one again.
There's a lot here, and we're going to go bloody up the thingy hill, aren't we?
Spooky
No,
Hill.
I'm not going
Spooky Dog
We're
Hill.
going up the hill. Yeah, we're going to go up the spooky hill. Definitely. This is another one. Right, this Laura's proof for this one. She was in the room with a friend of ours called Kath, and in Bebington. I think it's Bebington as you go into Bebington.
I know Bebington, yeah.
On the A41, houses on the right. And she had a husband, Kath, and he was at work.
Right.
She was into spiritualism and all this, and she went to a spiritualist church. And
Oh
watched someone,
shit! I know the bloody church and all.
Well, she watched someone talking on stage, blah blah, and he picks her out. There's a small child following you round, Kath. Blah blah blah, and she's telling. I'm sitting now in front of the telly. The telly's on, but I think the volume was on about 2. And Laura and Kath are chatting over on the right of me.
Yeah.
And I've got the door behind me where it goes into the hall, and then you've got the front door behind me to the left.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, and Kath's telling this story. Oh, and he said, he's following me round, and she's so into it and all this. And in my head, I'm going, oh, fuck's sake, fucking listen to her.
Yeah.
Basically.
Because
what
my
a
mum
load
used
of
to go to
bollocks.
that spiritualist
Yeah,
church.
the same one.
I have stories.
Well,
It's a load of crap.
I'm sitting there listening to that in my head, not, don't want to upset her. or anything.
Yeah, of
I'm
course
thinking,
not.
what a
You
load
wouldn't,
of fucking bollocks. And I'm swear down, this fucking voice went, ah! Right in my ear.
Fuck
And I
off.
mean, right in my ear. Look, they're sitting there. I just went, like fucking, they said my eyes were like plates. And I was like, what the fuck, what was that? What the fuck just happened then? And they're like, what's up with you? You look like you've seen a ghost. So someone's just screamed, proper screamed at my ear. And I was like, it freaked me out. I said,
Give over!
And then I stopped. I said, it's Ian, isn't it? Ian snuck in the back behind me or something. And Kath was like, Rich, Ian's at work and he won't be back 2 o'clock in the morning or something stupid. He's on nights or whatever he was doing, or the late ones. I said, Kath, I'm not being funny. Do you mind if I go and have a look around the house? Because I think there's no way. He's here somewhere. I think
I
he's
hate
here.
that. Oh,
So
that's made me
she
go
says, Rich,
weird.
Go upstairs, go in every room, go in the wardrobes, and I fucking did as well. I went up
Every wardrobe.
I checked the front door first. Front door was locked, and I would have heard a key going in it.
Yeah.
The door behind me was still shut into the hall, so I went upstairs. Done what she said. I went in every room, looked under the beds, because I was convinced it was that real, it was that loud. Convinced that he was in the house.
You didn't have headphones on or nothing.
No,
It
no,
was just
just sitting there, minding my own business. The telly was on like 2 or 3. You just about heard it.
Yeah, you can
I don't even know what was on. But that freaked me out big time. And that was
I'd wet myself.
going back about 15 years now.
I hate that.
But that terrified me.
That's made me got like, you know what I mean?
It
Like
was so loud.
goosebumps and shit.
It was almost like someone was going, yeah, you better fucking believe it, mate,
Yeah.
because we're here.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa.
Because you're sitting there going, yeah,
I'm
well, this is fucking.
and that made
bullshit.
me
This
think
is
then.
absolute fucking.
That bloody whatever that was knows what I'm thinking. Which was even scarier, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I don't
Because
want
I'm
to.
thinking in my head, I'm thinking in my head. I'm not saying out loud. I'm thinking.
Oh, I hate this topic.
I have
yeah.
no scary ghost stories.
No.
I was just like, I know, like in the previous one we talked about scary stories. I talked about the haunted flat I was in, and I never saw
That
anything.
was a good story though.
But I'd never anything. Pete, do you want to tell your story? Because I know what story.
No, I'm not going to do that one. I'm
You're
going
not
to say
doing
that
that one?
one. But me and the current Mrs. Harper did live in a haunted house before our current house, but it wasn't a scary haunted house. The atmosphere wasn't bad. So I'll tell one story because we're probably running over time here, and it's a good story. So Rich has just put like 10 fingers up at me, but I don't know what that means. I've got 10 minutes or 10 hours.
10 minutes. He's just seen 10 owls.
He said 10
10
hours.
Fucking owls, you got it.
Oh, well,
Come on.
fine. 34 is when it starts to get a bit weird. But no, I think this was the first incident, actually. It was an old house. We used to live in an old area in Ellesmere Port called Westminster Bridge. Okay, so I, from my own experience, lived in what we can only call a haunted house. And the atmosphere in that house was pleasant. I don't know if you guys have experienced this in your various ghost hunting experiences, but we never had a sense of threat, or we never felt. The only time, I'll come back to this, but my wife felt uncomfortable once, and she told the ghost off, and it stopped doing what it was doing. But did you ever feel a kind of atmosphere of any of your things, whether you were skateboarding or peering out of a window or being thrown down a stair? Because we never had that where I lived. We were on the we were the Westminster Bridge area of Ellesmere-Port. It was an old house, and there was never what did you guys think? Have you ever had that sort of
like an overall aura of good?
Yeah, basically, Carl. Yeah.
You can go into a house that's reputed or a place that's haunted, and it can have a warm feel to it. It's not just sort of like type thing.
It's not going to rip your legs off.
You have got your horrible spirits or your evil spirits or whatever you like to call them, your demons type thing, but the Americans like to say. Or you've also got spirit that are there to protect you as well.
Yeah, I think this was that. But anyway, the first encounter we had, my daughter was a baby. She's only 45 now. I'm not sure how old she is. But she was a baby at the time. And we used to... Basically, the setup was there was a dining room, and you'd have to step down into the kitchen. So there was a step into the kitchen. You couldn't see the dining room there. And we used to wash our bottles. You'd wash them in the sink, and you'd put them in this sort of sterilizer box, where you'd fill them full of water and sterilizer liquid, and then pop the top on the box, and you'd leave them there for a while, and then you come back to them and obviously empty them. No, I wouldn't empty them. I'd just give a sterilizer. I wouldn't give them milk, which probably explains a lot. Anyway, so I was there doing the sterilising the bottle thing, and my wife and RJ, who's my son, were talking at me in the doorway. So I turned to, there was about, I'd say 8 bottles in the sterilizer box, all full of water, and I turned to talk to them and said, hello, wife and my son. Are we having a nice time? And they said, yes, we're having a lovely time. We're doing something in the 1990s when this was happening, or maybe the 2000s, depending on the age of my daughter. So I turned around then, and all 8 bottles that were in the sterilizer were upended onto the desktop, full of water.
All upside down?
All upside down. There was no way you could have done it.
Any water spill?
No, nothing.
They still had water in them?
They still had water in them. They were completely full. All upside down.
I think you've actually told me this.
I probably have.
Yeah, you've told me this one, but I didn't remember the bit.
But there was a space of literally milliseconds between me talking to RJ and Sue and looking back at the bottles.
That's like some shit out of Poltergeist, isn't it?
Well,
it literally is where the chairs stuck up. And there was no... Obviously, the only way to pick them up was water went everywhere, yeah.
But you couldn't physically do that yourself. There's no way
any human could do it. There was
why would you?
6 to 8 bottles, all upside down, perfectly in 2 rows, on the desktop. I'm so used to working in an office.
On the
a worktop. Sorry,
kitchen.
I do apologise. But yeah, they were all upside down, and obviously that was the only way to pick them up was.
So for the water to go everywhere.
Was the water to go everywhere?
Only thing
so how the hell did that happen? Because I literally turned to talk to my wife and to RJ, and then turned back, and they'd
that had happened.
Come out, and yeah, they were upside down.
That is bonkers.
And there were obviously 3 witnesses to this.
It's a bit of a head scratcher, though. There's no way you could. There's no
way to do it. There's literally no way to do it. I couldn't have done it.
The way you could do it is by turning your whole cupboard or your whole worktop upside down, putting the bottles and turning it back again.
Yeah,
is that what you done?
No,
you fucking trickster.
I know, right? But no, the bottles were there, full of water, and then the next minute they were upside down and still full of the exact same amount of water. as they were. Water and fluid.
Sterilising fluid.
Yeah.
Bonkers, that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's bonkers. And that was the first incident. There was many others after, but it was never scary. Like I said to Pete and Rich, it was never a frightening thing. We didn't go and run out of the house.
You went, wow.
We went, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then tried to do it again, and water went everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds poltergeist-ish.
It does, doesn't
I'll admit, because they're renowned for causing
Playing
tricks.
tricks.
But don't they normally
Tricksters.
hang around like teenagers? Because I wasn't obviously
Not
a teenager.
necessarily. No, it's
And Jay was, well, how old was he? 4, 5, 6?
well, not necessarily.
No, I
They're
thought that
only
was the
there.
general standard, Pete. That's all.
To be honest, when you come to the paranormal, there isn't a standard. It just happens.
Kind of is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
yeah.
You will probably get a certain type of ghost that will attach itself to certain type of people, and they're the ones that you probably hear the most of. But otherwise,
Can you have like an
it
aggressive
is what
ghost?
it is. What a classic ghost.
Like an aggressive ghost.
An aggressive
attached to
ghost.
it.
Yes, you can have
type of
aggressive
people,
ghosts. Yes. Yeah.
We need to come back to this.
Yeah,
first.
definitely.
We need to roll back to
Well,
this.
even like the story my dad's saying about the little girl. It wasn't anything malicious. Even when he said he missed her when he finally left the flat.
Well, this is the thing.
It didn't scare her. It was just, it is what it is.
And it was there,
and he
yeah.
wasn't scared.
Which was weird because when your dad left the flat, he said, "Do you want to come with me?" And we did the same. Well, I did. My wife did the same when we left that house. Gosh, like nearly 20 years ago now. She said, "Do you want to come with us? We'd like you to come with us." And he did. But apparently, the family who bought the house still experience the same sort of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
So I am told. So yeah, it's tied to the house. Whatever it is,
It's
it's not malicious.
That's amazing.
But it's tied to the house. So yeah, very interesting.
Next time we come back to this topic,
We got so much shit, man.
There's this one story that I absolutely love that you tell, and I can't wait for us to tell it.
The Three Wise Men. Conclusion.
Okay, folks. So the Three Wise Men have talked to you about ghosts, ghoulies, shadow people, weird bottle crap,
Owls.
owls, kaplunk. We've talked about going into a pub that's full of really old people. But the main topic was ghosts, obviously. So I hope you've learned something from this. We're all quite keen to look at the supernatural and not just go, it's not real, it's a load of crap. We've all had experiences, and I'm sure most people have had experiences of a similar nature. I've not been pulled down the stairs, by the way, but only by my wife when I was going upstairs to like have a big wank or whatever. But we hope you've learned something from this, and you've gained some knowledge from this, and we've got more ghosty stories. We do still aim to go to Rich's Scary Dog Hill at some point, so that is a thing. But okay, guys, have you got any kind of advice to give? And Carl, God help me if it's more than 40 minutes long and I'd punch you in the throat about ghosts.
Well, what I said last time.
Don't say what you said last time. Come on, something.
Well,
Yeah,
okay,
because
right,
that's a
someone knew
different
that.
subject,
Okay.
dickhead.
After listening to these stories, I really don't know because I'm so confused over it. Because I've never really experienced this type of stuff. I don't really know what to say.
Did you say something about the ghost might be thinking something else last time?
Oh yeah.
Oh Christ, yeah.
I'm sorry.
God almighty.
No. I
Don't.
said right. Pete's now.
Fucking hell.
Our guest Pete is now putting his hands in his face. I said.
I'm angry again. I'm angry
The
now.
point I said is you don't know the view from the ghost. So you're there all scared, but you don't know how the ghost is feeling. He could be scared because someone's come into their house that they've been there for many years.
Actually, he has
not
got.
drunk.
He has actually
Listen,
got a point.
say that
He
again,
has
Pete.
got a point.
He has got a point on that.
Thank you.
Because you watch the likes of Most Haunted and the Ghost Adventures and all that, and they can be quite rude to a ghost. And what you got to remember is it's
In what way? Like
well
saying,
they'll
oh, you're weird, you smell of farts. Or
well
whatever.
they'll try and get a reaction. So they'll do anything
Okay,
to try and
okay,
get
yeah.
an reaction. So they'll call it all sorts. They'll call it names. They'll do this, that, and the other.
You died on a spike, didn't you? Sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, Carl, you just smell of farts.
You know what I've been through.
He hasn't.
And
it's-
at the end of the day, it's they're not like an instrument for entertainment. It's a soul that used to live in a body
yeah.
somewhere,
We've all seen The Conjuring.
and
They'll
yeah, I don't
fuck
believe
you
them
up.
either, to be honest.
No,
So
no.
what-
Those guys. I can't remember what they're called.
The Warrens.
The Warrens.
Yeah,
Carl had a
I'll
pretty good point in
probably.
the end.
by and large,
Yes,
full of
I
shit.
did.
So-
I did have a good point in the end. So fuck
It
you
took us
guys.
3 weeks for it to come round and be a valid point.
Yeah, it was
But
an annoying
it's-
point though,
It was
wasn't
an annoying point.
At the end of the day, that the Warrens did sort of like fake quite a lot of it.
They did, I believe.
Amateurville, especially.
What would
But
your
that's
advice?
for another one.
What would your advice be, Pete?
Keep an open mind. Don't assume straight away because it could be a natural phenomena.
Yeah.
It might not be paranormal.
I
So
didn't
just keep an open mind, and if something does happen, try and find the logical view. If you can't find the logical view, then put it down to an
run
experience.
like shit. I didn't realise that the first rule of ghost hunting was to disprove the ghost.
Oh yeah, you've got
This is new to me. So I
yeah.
thought the first rule would be, oh my god,
Otherwise,
look at it, it's
I've
a
got
ghost, it's a ghost, it's an orb.
I've got another example of when we went to Plazteg.
Dead interesting.
No, I haven't said anything yet.
No, but the whole thing, the whole thing is interesting.
Plazteg's
It is.
interesting.
Plazteg's very interesting, and I got told off a few times for like doing what you do. Went off on my own, but just quickly. We were all in a room. They had computers set up and they had cameras on. I can't remember how many levels. But
Yeah.
there's 2 or 3 levels, and me and my wife Laura was stood at the back, and most of the gang were going ape shit. Oh, look at this! There's orbs flying everywhere. I was like saying to her quietly in her ear, "That's just dust. I'll prove it," and I did. I went upstairs. I crept off. This is when I got fucking bollocked.
Yeah.
And I crept off, and there's curtains at the end of this room. And I said to her, I said, when I get up there, I'm going to flap the curtains, and then you see what the reaction is. I was a bit naughty, really, of the group. So I went up. Can't remember. I think we had CBs or something. So I'm flapping the curtains.
Did loads of orbs come out?
Fucking going
i.e.
nuts. They're
dust.
Going nuts. It orbs everywhere. And a few of them were getting, not all of them, but a few of them getting really excited and carried away. Then I come back down and I told them what I'd done. I said, I've just been up and flapped the curtains. And it's like a shit on the mouths or something. They were not impressed. They were not happy at all. You know, like, why did you go off on your own? You shouldn't be off on your own. I was basically pissed on a bonfire. And I'm not still, there was definitely something in that house.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, it wasn't that.
Yeah,
The infrared, it makes the
it's a mix, this, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's people are too enthusiastic.
too enthusiastic, and that's why
people are
you've
not
got to do what
that
they were saying.
It's a weird kind. You've got to
You've got to
meet
try
in the
and
middle,
rule
really.
rule out first.
Yeah.
Well, you got your two when you go to these ghost like hunts. You kind of got 2 different type of people. You've got your ghost hunters that are very passionate about it and they take it very seriously and they won't want to ruin it other. And then you've got the tourists that want to turn up and go, should we go on a ghost hunt?
Yeah.
Should we go see something? And that's what will probably, as you said, will ruin it for
You've got to
people
have a bit
that.
of critical thinking.
Because at the end of the day, a lot of this is, as it says on a lot of the ghost programs, this is entertainment.
Yeah.
And a lot of them people
yeah.
are into the entertainment business.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, you are, it's like, I suppose you could say you are messing with something that is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a Mulder and a Scully.
Well, in that
You've
in
got
that
a
same,
Shaggy and a Fred.
in the Plazteg, I've told you, haven't I? I went up a bit later on in the day. Went up, turned round, and I could have swore.
Oh, yeah.
I saw, a fencer's mask. I could have swore somebody was peeping round, and then they whizzed their head back with white. It was all white, looked like a fencer's mask. Looked round the corner, but I can't. It was that quick. You know when you're double guessing yourself. No one else saw it, so I only got my own word to go on with that. But I remember it thinking,
When was this, Rich?
this was 2004-ish.
This was when I was wandering around old houses in fencing gear,
For some
I kinda
reason,
used to
thought
do
it might have
that.
been.
Well, there
Yeah,
you go.
funny enough.
I give up the skateboard and the cloak and the knife, and I had a fencing gear
Spell
thing
of
going on.
fencing
We
going
did-
on there.
It's a very niche thing I was doing, but
Yeah, there is going back on that with the dust and whatever. I remember being at Drakelow Tunnels down Kidderminster Way, and it was a cold at night. It was quite cold. Obviously, you're underground as well, so the ambient temperature is cold as well. So when you're breathing, there's a lot of
Yeah, a lot of mist.
a lot of mist coming out.
well, the orbs come out you.
Well, it's not just orbs, but you had people taking pictures, and they were going, oh, "Look at that! I've got a ghost," and they got this like lit up bit of
Breath.
ectoplasm
Yeah,
in the middle of the picture,
that's his breath,
and I
mate.
just all went up and went, "Hang on a sec," and just went, took a picture, and went, "There you go, I've got one as well." And
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
And whatever
okay.
happened to ectoplasm?
Well, there's the next
Well.
title of the podcast.
Yeah. Whatever happened to ectoplasm? Was it like a period thing?
I think it was, yeah. It
Because-
was one of those things that, you know, the old Victorians
Yeah.
used to get all the time when they were doing it. Now, they had different cameras in them days as well, so, you know, there was cameras that you had to stand still for about 3
Yeah.
hours to
Yeah.
take a
So you can have
good
something
selfie.
hanging out your gob.
So how on earth he managed to do it, I don't know. You know, again, it could be just somebody doing something because it's the exposure's that long. It could be somebody just playing about around the person. All of a sudden, you see this ectoplasm around this person's head. You don't know. It's
I have been
That's-
covered in ectoplasm more than once.
More times than you care to remember.
I mean, yesterday I was looking at Sydney Sweeney videos, and the ectoplasm was everywhere, man.
Who is Sydney Sweeney?
She's
Because I keep-
fit out.
I know, but I keep hearing the
guy.
name. That's why Pete's so interested.
Look it up.
Right, Pete. Conclusions. What are your thoughts?
Sydney Sweeney's very, very attractive lady.
Great conclusion. Right. Thank you, Pete, for coming on.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you, Pete.
thank
Most
you for having me.
enjoyable. You're more than welcome.
It was an absolute pleasure. I believe even more than I used to do. Rich, your stories are mental.
Well,
Also, I mean, how can anyone disprove this stuff? I mean,
I can't prove
mental.
it as much as anyone else can't disprove it. to be
Exactly.
So-
Carl, Rich, have you got anything else to say?
honest. Yeah, over to Carl.
Pete,
Rich,
you got
have
anything
you
else to
got-
say?
Carl's
Pete,
had his
have you
conclusion.
got? I mean, do you want to like
To wrap it up.
sign us off, Pete? Because Carl, do you want to?
Right.
It's been an absolute pleasure to be here, and as I've said to you before, I find it amazing that, you know, 3 men can talk utter shite for over an hour and get away with it. Personally,
Thank you.
And we're only just getting going.
Yeah, this is the start. There's a lot more bullshit to come.
There is.
Okay, so next week, folks, we're going to be talking about another exciting subject. You won't believe what we're going to be talking about next week, because we haven't figured it out yet.
I don't know what it is.
No fucking idea what we're going to be talking about.
We'll come up with something.
We'll come up with something. It might be like, I don't know, who knows, hunting children. Rich is into that. So, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, people.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.